All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sterling Higa, Chairperson of the Authority. I'd now like to call to order the May 6th, 2026 Kakaako meeting of the Hawaii Community Development Authority. The time is now 9:50 a.m.
Thank you, Chair. In accordance with Section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statutes, the Hawaii Community Development Authority is holding today's Kakaako Board meeting virtually on Zoom. Zoom link details were included on the meeting agenda. Therefore, members of the public are welcome to join us on Zoom and also at our physical meeting site at the American Brewery Building, 547 Queen Street, second floor, boardroom, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. The HCD communication staff is hosting this meeting. Once this meeting begins, everyone will be muted for clearer audio. Board members, if you have any comments or questions, please unmute yourself to speak. It is important that all individuals clearly state their name, pseudonym, or other identifier name each time prior to speaking. If you wish to provide oral testimony and you are attending virtually, please indicate so by clicking the raise hand button on your Zoom screen. If you are attending in person, you'll be called to the front of the room in the order you signed up. Before you begin your testimony, we ask that you identify yourself and spell your name for the record. Your testimony must be related to an item on the agenda. All testimony will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. When time is elapsed, time will be called, after which you will have 30 seconds to conclude your testimony, and then your audio will be turned off. If you are attending in person, the presiding officer will call the next testifier. Keep in mind that this is an opportunity to share your thoughts with us. If you ask questions during your testimony, neither the board nor the staff is required to provide an answer. If the authority's connection for the remote meeting is lost, the meeting will be recessed until the connection is restored. If the connection cannot be restored within 30 minutes, the meeting will be terminated and the authority will continue the meeting at another notice date. Thank you. Chair.
Thank you. HCDA board members, please remain visible and audible during the meeting. Also, please acknowledge you are present by either saying here or present. Let the record reflect that the following members are present. Vice Chair Ishii.
Here.
Thank you. Secretary Lidstone.
Here.
Thank you. Member Miranda Johnson.
Here.
Thank you. Member Anderson.
Here.
Thank you. Member Evans.
Here.
Thank you. Member Streitz is excused. Member China is excused. Member Sakota.
Here.
Thank you.
You have quorum, Chair.
Thank you. For today's meeting, board members will have an opportunity to ask questions or provide comments after an agenda item has been presented. Individuals from the public who have requested to provide verbal public testimony on a specific agenda item are on standby and will be permitted to provide their testimony respectively. Agenda item number 2 is the approval of minutes. These are the regular meeting minutes of March 4th, 2026. Board members, are there any comments or corrections to these minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are approved as presented. Decision making. Item number 3 is decision making to consider authorizing the executive director to add an additional buyback option to the supplemental financing and buyback plan. The plan, approved on July 2nd, 2025 for reserved housing units within the Ulana Ward Village project located at 828 Oahu Street, Honolulu, Hawaii 96813, and further described by tax map key number 2-1-053001 to allow reserved housing unit owners to utilize their own brokers to resell their units to qualified buyers with HCDA approval and in accordance with HCDA reserved housing rules during the regulated term. Ms. Lindsay Doi, Asset Manager, will now present the staff report. Ms. Lindsay Doi.
Thank you, Chair. Members, this material is located in tab 2 of your packet. You may recall we previously came to this board for approval of some buyback options relating to the Ulana Ward Village project. This request today seeks to expand on those options, specifically one of the options related to matching an owner who comes to us for buyback with a new buyer. So previously you approved option 2, which would allow us to resell the unit to a qualified new buyer approved by HCDA by our broker. However, we have recently run into some problems where our first broker, the Hawaii Home Ownership Center, declined to buy back some units. So then we initiated a procurement for a second broker to assist us. That process has taken some time. So we have been contacted by at least one reserve housing unit owner who is in that pool of buybacks who wants this process to move faster. So I thought maybe we could expand on that option 2 with this new proposed option 5, which would actually allow that owner to sell the unit directly to a qualified new buyer on their own. So that would drastically, I think, shorten the timeline just because of state procurement things. That process is very lengthy. Unfortunately, we actually are still in the contracting process for that broker just due to various procurement issues. I do hope to contract that broker this week, but we are running into some challenges. So this option 5, again, would allow the individual unit owners to retain their own private real estate brokers to essentially find a qualified buyer. So all of the requirements would remain the same. They would have to meet the same income, asset restrictions, same as what I would do with our broker, but just they would do it privately on their own. The buyback price would remain the same, and I would make sure that the unilateral declaration is redone and attached to the new buyer that they find. So, this is just something, again, that we thought might add extra flexibility to those folks who are in these situations where they can't keep holding their unit and they want this process to move faster than we physically can do at this time. I am available for questions though, if you have any.
Thank you. Members, any questions for staff? Seeing no questions, members looking for, public testimony. Do we have any person pre-signed up to provide testimony?
Madam Chair.
Anyone online? Looks like we have Courtney Pham online wishing to provide testimony. Miss Pham, whenever they unmute you, you may testify.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Courtney Pham. Thank you, Lindsay, for presenting, and thank you, board, for listening to us today. My client is actually the one at Ulana Ward Village who has been trying to sell back the unit for about 6 months now. But we have no answers, haven't got to any solution, like Lindsay mentioned. So I think this option would be great for him to be able to sell the unit back. He is moving, internationally and needs to sell it. So I know with the 4 action plan originally, when they closed, stated, give you 6 weeks to get back to us. So it's been 6 months. So I know he's in a financial bind. So we really would appreciate something like this to be passed, so we can close kind of under the same stances as she was mentioning. So thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Member Sakota.
Yeah, I'm just reviewing this stuff and I can't remember all the details, but the final approval of the qualifications sits still with the HCDA?
You mean of the buyer that is selected?
Yes, the new buyer.
Yes. So the qualifications are the same as they were back when Howard Hughes sold the units. It's the same exact qualifications. The income will be adjusted for the current AMI, but the person or the qualified new buyer that Courtney, if she is the one to facilitate the sale, whoever she finds that is qualified, she would submit to me all of the documentation. I would review it just like we would anyone else, and then go ahead and approve that buyer.
Okay, great. I just want to make that clear. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Member Sakota. Public testimony. Anyone else present or online wishing to provide testimony on this matter? Sure. Seeing none, we will close public testimony. Members, any questions or comments before we look for a motion? Okay, members, is there a motion for the board to authorize the executive director to add an additional buyback option described as option 5 herein to the supplemental financing and buyback plan approved on July 2nd, 2025 for reserved housing units within the Ulana Ward Village project located at 828 Awahi Street, Honolulu, Hawaii 96813, and further described by tax map key number 2-1-053001 that are proposed to be sold by the reserved housing unit owners during the regulated term as described in this staff report, and undertake all tasks necessary to effectuate the purposes of this 4 action. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Member Evans and seconded by Member Sakota. Thank you. Members, any further discussion on the motion? Moved by Member Evans and seconded by Member Sakota. If not, I'll ask Lindsay to take the roll call vote.
Okay, members, the motion has been made and seconded on that motion. Member Evans? Aye. Member Sakota?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ishii,
Yes.
Secretary Lidstone,
Aye.
Member Miranda Johnson,
Yes.
Member Anderson,
Yes.
and Chair Higa.
Yes.
The motion passes with 7 in favor. Thank you.
2 excused, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lindsay, is this a possible option for other projects that have buyback conditions on the original sale or subsequent sales? Because it does seem like a very helpful option to have in your toolkit as you seek to make these the buyback process be less burdensome on the original buyer and on the new buyer. Town HCDA staff.
Yes, certainly, we can definitely add this in, since it's option 5, it'll be added to that arsenal of options. This particular program is specific to Ulana, but that's not to say, you know, it couldn't be applied to others. We currently have just a handful of units at A'ali'i, and I think Kekilohana might have a few too. Those are falling out this fall, so we won't have the buyback option for very much longer. A lot of people are holding on to the units until that time, but certainly if any new projects come up, these will be valid options for all.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Doi. Next agenda item is number 4, the report of the executive director. This is the monthly report and other status reports, including approved permit applications that did not require HRS 206E-5.6 public hearings. Executive Director Nakamoto will now provide his monthly report.
Thank you, Chair. The Executive Director report is under tab 3 of your packet. I want to highlight a couple of things. The railing repair work that we did on the Kewalo Basin stairs was successfully completed. The project was completed on schedule, and the stairs were reopened for public use in March 30th, 2026. So successful project by our CIP team working with Lindsay. The other item I wanted to bring up is the HART is constructing the city center guideway and stations portion of the Honolulu Rail Transit project. But related to that, I just wanted to sort of make a sort of announcement. HART is also going to be conducting a Civic Center station design workshop on Thursday, May 7th. This is from 6 to 7:30 at the Hub co-working site located in Kakaako at 1050 Queen Street, Suite 100. If anybody is willing to, interested in attending. Thank you, Chair. That concludes my report.
Great. Thank you, Director Nakamoto. Members, any comments or questions for staff? Seeing none, we will open public testimony. Any persons pre-signed up? Any present or online who wish to provide testimony? Seeing none, we will close public testimony. That was for information only. So we'll move now to adjourn this meeting. Thank you to those who joined us on Zoom or in person. That concludes our business for today. The meeting is adjourned. The time is now 10:03 a.m. We'll right into our next meeting, the at-large